But it's great to be able to get a CEO of a publicly traded company. Because you get to pull the covers back on what it's like to actually, run a company like that. A guy by the name of Andy Shape is the CEO and president of a company called Strand Promotional Solutions. These guys are a top 40 promotional merchandise, loyalty, and incentive marketing agency. Does that make sense to you?
No.
He's going to tell you, because you know what? We got him here right now.
Top 40.
Andy, how are you? Good to see you.
Good. Good. Thanks, guys. Thanks for having me.
What business is this? Is this what I think it is? Is this the promotional, the swag business?
You got it. Swag, promotional merchandise, whatever else you want to call it, incentives, loyalty, anything, really anything physically branded that you can put a logo on.
What's the weirdest request you've had so far? Put a logo on blank. What is it?
Let's see. A few years ago, we had to do. Someone wanted to do an armored car. They wanted to take an armored car and have us wrap it with their branding on it.
So here, I have a question for you, because this is the oldest business in business. I mean, you've gotten keychains.
Right.
Your mom used to bring a home keychain.
Still does.
I mean, remember even the old motels when they were keys.
Yes.
They would have a plastic thing on there, and on one
usually.
side it would have the room. It would be an advertisement for wherever you're at. Talk about this business, Andy, because I don't think we've ever interviewed somebody in this space. Is it alive and well?
Yeah, it's very well. So a lot of people know, a lot of people know people within our space. So everyone says, I have a guy or I know somebody that does it. So people know somebody that does this because it's a very large industry. So the industry itself is a $25 billion industry. So there's a lot of people buying branded merchandise out there. And there's actually almost 25,000 distributors that do similar, that are within that. So it's highly fragmented, and it's grown usually about 5 to 6% year over year for the last 10 years. So
I bet masks are the biggest ask.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, right. I mean, are you brand? That's good. Do you brand a mask?
Yeah, absolutely.
We got one right here.
I don't have one in my pocket, but absolutely, we have branded masks. That's a big. So PPE in 2020, this industry shifted a lot to PPE. So personal protective equipment, anything from masks to gowns to hand sanitizer, to welcome back to work kits, anything like that. So large companies would bring people in and say, here's a kit coming back to work with hand sanitizer, a mask, maybe a keychain, just to make people feel more comfortable. So it's actually, that was a big part of our business, but it's been saturated quite a bit, and people don't have as much need for that as they did.
But Andy, I've got a question though for you. For your business, this has been kind of a fragmented industry. Was there a roll-up that happened a few years ago, or because it looks like you guys are pretty big again?
Yeah, there really hasn't been, and that's one of the reasons why we decided to go public recently. We went public in November, beginning of November, because no one really has capitalized on that. There's a little bit of private equity money in it, but not necessarily. So we really took this approach to go public for growth capital. As I said, we've been in business for 25 years, over 25 years. I don't know if I said that, but we've been profitable. So we started 25 years ago. Like you said, the industry has really changed. We started by literally going door to door selling holiday cards until I got out of offices, and they'd say, there's no loitering.
And what's interesting about this place, so first of all, his name, by the way, our guest is CEO and president of Strand, STRAN, Promotional Solutions. Andy Shape is his name. STRN is, by the way, is their stock symbol, STRN.
And I would imagine over the years there's been some typos that made it to press, like, for the Bull Shirt Company. Oops.
Is there?
Yeah.
There's a reject pile that just.
Well, in the digital age, that stuff doesn't happen as much, right?
Well, it still happens occasionally, and my children always are walking around with free merchandise. If I bring home another T-shirt, my wife's going to kill me.
Your kids have a Kansas City chef shirt, right? Is that what's happening? Hey, I got a question for you on the business side. Your business, companies go public for a number of reasons. One is access to capital, and number two is being able to use the stock for currency in making acquisitions.
Good idea.
Do you guys, carry that sort of business model? You're actively seeking smaller companies to pick up, and I would assume that's one of the reasons you went public, right?
Absolutely. As of yesterday, we announced our first public acquisition. So we're already putting it to work. We acquired a company that's in the Boston area that does about 7 to 8 million in revenue. That really hasn't taken advantage of some of the technology offerings that we have. So that's really one of the reasons why we went public. is to use that capital to build our infrastructure for scale. So we were only able to do as a family or as a small lifestyle business, doing 40 to 45 million in revenue. Really, we were only able to do so much with that. Once we go public, once we went public, we have the capital now to bolster out our infrastructure, continue to invest in our technology, as well as do a roll-up strategy by finding those smaller companies that need that infrastructure, that capital, the resources that we have. So that is absolutely one of our strategies, is to find acquisition targets, close them, and then bring them all under our roof to really promote what they're doing even further.
So are you guys industry specific? Are you guys focusing on, on hammering certain industries for your sales functions, or do you just, is it catch all and who, whatever seems to be popular you run after?
We do a lot of, one of our largest spaces is the beverage vertical, the alcohol beverage space. As like behind the bar, you have signage, like all the beer companies, the hard liquor companies, the wine companies. They really need to differentiate themselves through doing on-premise and off-premise marketing. On-premise is drinking on a premise, like a bar or restaurant.
Yeah.
Off-premise is takeaway, in a store. Or
well, I'm familiar with both. That's good news. Thumb drives I've seen, lately that get the.
That's the latest, right?
But you should buy your own coffee mug and pen factory, because that seems to be always out there.
Yeah.
Right?
What can I ask? How effective is that? I get handed. We have pins every day, and I don't know if I could name one logo on that, but yet they're still being dropped off. Is it really effective? Does it work?
It is effective. So this type of advertising is the only type of advertising that really gives you something and doesn't take away from something. So a lot of traditional advertising takes away your time or your space, takes away from what you're trying to do. Whereas this, when you hand somebody or give someone something physical, they just feel a better connection with that brand. So where we really step in is try to approach companies that say, don't just buy merchandise and do anything with us.
Yeah.
Allow us to help you use it more effectively, so that when they do give it out, it's combined with maybe some printed collateral, something that's a little bit more meaningful or is tied directly to you. So if we can personalize that with your name, for example, it may mean more to you than just a pen. So now you associate that brand with your name or your hometown, your zip code, your area code, something like that, that then they can make that association. It really, you start to associate that brand with something personal to you. So we really try to help our customers make that connection to a favorable brand with something that means something to them.
Andy, I appreciate you coming on here. I can't wait to have you back. And I think I think it's time, maybe we place an order, for
something
for hammock rock, or maybe some of your
my devices.
Devices.
Yes.
Like the Chili Quick or the Gundra mat.
The Taylor Swift.
Yeah, we could do a technology, launch a store for you, and people can go buy out right off the store. That's what we do.
I can see it now.
There he goes. Andy, thanks so much. I appreciate you
teaming
swinging
up.
by. Andy Shape. Andy Shape is his name. He's the CEO and president of Strand Promotion. Have you ever? I know we do. I mean, Molly and Mary are.
Yeah.
They have their noses in that stuff every day.